Welcome to the Pro Cheerleading Podcast, hosted by Mhkeeba
and Brittany, two former NFL cheerleaders discussing hot topics in the pro cheerleading industry
and revealing the truth behind the poms.
All right, welcome on in to our first episode of season 4.
It's been a long break.
I think it was really needed though, and we got a lot done during that time.
We sure did. That was, July 24th-ish was our last episode, I believe.
Yeah, did you guys miss us or not so much?
You better.
Comment down below.
We missed you. I think it's just part of our routines now. So pardon the rust. We got to dust it off a little bit, but we're excited to talk about what the hell's been up for the past 6 weeks or so.
We got a lot to update you guys on. So this episode's called Right Back. That's how we kind of feel, right back at it. But we got a lot of updates. So basically this episode's just going to be a lot of cheer chat, just updating what's going on in the industry, what we've been up to, some other things, juicy drama.
I know. Do we have some juicy drama?
Do we?
Kinda. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll make it juicier as we go along.
Yeah.
What have we been up to?
Well, one of the recent things we did is we went down to Yakima and we taught a little program for the kids. We had 4 different classes and it was at the dance factory.
Yeah, so Yakima, for people who don't know, is a city in Washington State that's over some mountain passes, about a 3-hour drive from Seattle, but such a great community of people. I fell in love with it the first time I went there for a Seahawks 12 tour type of event where we taught some routines to the kids, and so this was our very own day dedicated to the girls of the studio and some other kids that joined us, but a lot of fun and a lot of hard work. These girls danced their butts off, and this was a lot of exercise for me.
I know,
back
right?
in the saddle.
I know, ain't that true? I think I'm ready after a year of gaining weight and marriage and whatnot, but I think I'm ready. That sparked
I'm ready to dance again.
Fire to just get back into shape and take care of myself. And we're going to talk to some people this season about health and whatnot. Yeah, it was really fun. We taught 4 different classes. The last one was an adult class where Mhkeeba brought out a sexy routine she's been working on. And it's so fun. It was so fun to do.
Yeah, it was cool. Letting go of all those inhibitions and just getting sexy with it real quick. It was fun. Yeah. I'm so glad for everybody that came out, and the kids were awesome and great can-do attitudes. They learned the kick line and they were just doing the most. I was really proud of them. So shout out to the Dance Factory and all the wonderful girls that we met. We will be back hopefully soon before the past gets bad and we get stuck in the mountains.
Right?
Okay, we have to tell them what you had us do though, Brittany.
Oh, that's on my list of what to talk about. So basically from She's Got the Look episode, Mickey was kind of the hookup and started this whole thing. She does makeup, obviously. She's amazing. Hit her up. She'll do makeup for anything and everything, but she did it for my wedding and she does it a lot for professional dance teams like the Seahawks Dancers, what have you. But after one of our classes, well, actually the last class, we beelined it down to Gravity Hill in Prosser, Washington. And let me just tell you, it is the most exciting, thrilling thing I've ever done in my life. It was probably a good 45 minutes drive out from Yakima to Prosser.
After my gas light went off in my car, I was a little nervous.
But
what is Gravity Hill? It should be called Gravity Street, but what is Gravity Hill?
Gravity Hill is in the middle of nowhere. It's next to this haunted looking barn. And basically there's a start spray painted onto the road. And you put your car in neutral and you roll up this hill. It's insane.
It is a street that has an incline that you don't think is a hill. I was expecting literally, Brittany, a straight up steep hill that we were going to spookily be dragged up in neutral.
So you weren't impressed? Be real.
I was not. It was cool, but it looked like a street to me. If it would have been a hill on the hillside, and it would have creeped me out for sure, but I was just expecting more of a hill.
It was a gradual hill, and I was impressed.
Very
There's a gravitational pull or there's ghosts pushing you. We don't know. It's a mystery to this day. Try it out if you're ever out there. Maybe pass, but there's wineries as well, so.
We also got yelled at because we were sitting there in the middle of the street, and apparently, even though there was nobody in anywhere that you could find around us.
And what did he say? He said somebody could be flying up over that hill and hit you if you're in the middle of the road. So it's a hill, because if you can't see the other side, there's some kind of incline, and we rolled it, okay?
Everybody should try it, says Brittany.
I know, and I was all going off. I'm like, there's only a few in the world. And I Googled it. There's like a million everywhere, so.
Well, that part was very interesting, I have to say. I'm
What
not a
part?
science person. The fact that there would be places on Earth that, you know.
And Prosser
gravity-
Washington was on that list.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a very exciting Action Pack summer, guys. No, but that was a really cool experience. And Brittany and I have to have our fun adventures. So Gravity, what are we calling this? Gravity Hill?
It's Gravity Hill, yes.
Okay.
Prosser Washington.
Gravity
Check it
Hill
out.
was part of it. But Miners is the best part of it because they have these burgers from heaven and
Having mouth watering thinking about it.
the shakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a really interesting one.
Marshmallow and strawberry flavored. Anyways, very good, very tasty, and a lot of fun, and we earned it. And we had the Popeyes freaking chicken sandwich.
We
okay,
did.
But I'm way more excited about Popeyes than the Gravitational Hill. But we did have that Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
guys.
it was bomb. I actually think it was really good. Better than Chick-fil-A, I have to say. But nothing touches the lemonade from Chick-fil-A.
Nothing.
Hands down.
So remember when I got 2 gallons of the Chick-fil-A lemonade
Yeah.
and buckled it into my car like little children?
And then I went back and got myself a gallon because I was like, I need this.
Do you know it costs more like $30 a freaking gallon now?
I can't believe
It didn't used to
that.
cost that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Chick-fil-A. But the Popeyes chicken sandwich was bomb.
It was good.
What else
Highly
have we been up
recommend.
to this
Okay.
summer?
Back more to like related to the podcast. We were part of a radio show.
That was our first time, too. We were radio little virgins.
Yeah, the Mic Check Show. KSER 90.7 FM, y'all. That's a huge deal. Not AM,
Okay.
FM.
I stopped listening to the radio a long time ago, but it was
I
very
still
exciting.
listen to it.
They had like, what were those CDs everywhere? Some vinyl. What were those
What were
CDs?
those things? Those ancient devices.
Way back in the day, but it was really cool. They were so nice and hosted us, and we have to get our audio up so you guys can check it out. But just wanted to hear what was going on. I think it's really cool. Other people who are outside of our world are taking interest in the stories of what we've covered very extensively last season. I had a break. I'm less argumentative and angry. So they were really interested in what was going on. And I think any opportunity that we can get to educate people and raise the level of awareness of what we go through, I think is...
Yeah, and I hope they mentioned that we could be on there a few more times. So maybe we'll be like a frequent guest on the show. Give
They
them
could use
updates.
some feminine vibes up in there, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Didn't
sure.
smell like feet or anything, but it was
No.
very dudeish.
Right.
We added a little sprinkle of femininity.
Yeah, it was
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
But it was kind of nerve-wracking because, you know, we record the podcast and we edit it
Edit,
down.
yes.
And to be live, it added another element of kind of nervousness with recordings. But we might actually record live, Instagram live, like our cheer chat for the season. That's something we're kind of playing around with, just so that you guys can get the updates kind of real time and not have to wait for Wednesdays.
And you can let us know if there's anything you want us to chat about.
Right. Yeah, in the moment. We can kind of see what you guys are saying. And
Yeah, take a little pause.
chat about it.
Hold, please.
Yeah, a lot of pauses maybe. We'll see if that pans out, but that's exciting.
No,
So
I'm pumped about that. We've heard you guys in the survey results of wanting to see more videos and content in that way, so we're going to try to deliver.
yeah, absolutely. We're working on our website and getting merchandise, so we're kind of like planning and styling some items, which is kind of cool. We're thinking about doing some kind of celebration for our 1 year in October. We might be in New Orleans celebrating.
Someone's birthday.
Yeah. we might
Okay,
be
you guys,
doing that.
well, it's hella early, but I'm hella pumped about it. If you do not know Coming to America, I suggest you find the movie and watch it. But my Halloween outfit this year is going to be the queen to be, the original queen on Coming to America, who walked down the aisle in this elaborate gold ensemble with this hair and this bangles and all this stuff. I'm doing the most. Have the dress, need to get the rest of my stuff together. But I just feel like I can't just be in Seattle when this happens. I have to be somewhere. So it might be in New Orleans. Celebrating our 1 year anniversary on Halloween. But
That would be bomb.com.
tell
you
them
might-
your Halloween costume idea, please.
Okay, so I think we've talked about it before, but I have a big fake butt.
I think it may have made it into Locker
Yeah.
Talk.
So any chance I can get to wear that is like super ideal for me, because I have like formed hip pads in addition to the butt, and so like it's just like a whole ensemble, right? I'm not close to Mhkeeba's, but I
Aw.
want to be Cardi B in the tiger outfit from Twerk with City Girls. So I have my eye on the Amazon tiger outfit
Okay.
bodysuit that I might pair with the butt. And she kind of has reddish hair in that video.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I think it's like, it'll match.
I think you can
And
pull
I can
it
wear
off.
flats and,
Yeah,
maybe
twerking
just
in
carry
some
a
J's.
pole.
Isn't that what she said?
Yeah,
There we go.
exactly. So that's my idea.
Oh, you're going to carry a pole.
Yeah, maybe I'll carry a pole.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
she's twerking in the video on a pole,
Like,
you
what are you
know?
carrying a pole for?
Like a walking stick.
There you go.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, maybe just the outfit. Shit. I don't know. Oh, I was the
Either
first
way.
to cuss.
Good.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm working on myself. I am trying not to curse every single episode.
Well,
Whatever,
it's good
it's probably
practice
gonna
for
happen.
radio.
I know.
You know,
I
'cause we don't
almost,
wanna-
oh my God, I almost cursed on the radio show.
Yeah.
Oopsie daisy. Anyway, it depends on what we're talking about, but if it doesn't call for it, I'm trying to clean up my little potty mouth. Whatever, we'll see how long that lasts.
Okay, so let's kind of dive in. Even though this whole episode is kind of cheer chat-esque,
Yes.
let's get into some current events. Well, back to school, it's crazy to think. Like, I'm kind of sad about it, to be honest, but summer's over, so what does that mean? Back to
know,
school.
I
So
know.
the mom survived. It's time to drop your kids off at school. Amen to that.
Amen to that. They're not home eating all your food. But yeah, for people who are part of a team that maybe survived the summer with no responsibilities towards school, now you have to figure out how to balance all of that with your coursework and your homework and
Or if you have kids, getting them back and ready for school
Yeah,
while you
while
start
you're
getting
still
ready for
dancing. Oh
games.
my gosh.
Like, that's craziness. So,
it's about to be on and cracking.
yeah, football is back. So the NFL is actually going to celebrate their 100th regular season on September 5th. And something that I've been following kind of closely, which is surprising for me because I feel like I never keep up on the news. I'm always getting my updates from Mhkeeba while we record. But Jay-Z's partnership with the NFL, there's been so much drama with that. What do you think about it?
I think Jay-Z's a businessman. I think he refused to perform in the Super Bowl last year because he was, trying to show solidarity and support with Colin Kaepernick. This is before he settled his case against the NFL. So I could see why people were like, what are you doing? You cross over to the other side by partnering with them in this way. But I think my perspective, what he was trying to say was like, you protest, you raise awareness about the issues. And once you get their attention, who you're protesting against, the NFL, what do you do at that point? What action are you going to take? What is it that you want them to do to better the situation? And I think he was focused on what the NFL can do to really have a true social activism program in addition to this entertainment component. But basically, the NFL knew that people were going to still deny participation. Like Rihanna didn't want to perform. There were other people who didn't want to perform for the NFL events. So I think they tried to partner with Jay-Z in a way that would make them change their mind about it.
Yeah. And
That part feels a little weird.
Right. And their social activism campaign is called Inspire Change. Did that start with Jay-Z's getting the title of the live entertainment strategist?
That's not clear because I think they did. The NFL was already doing, they partnered with the Players Coalition around devoting funds from each owner that would go to the social causes that each player, wanted
Was
to.
passionate about
Yeah,
or what
so
have
I
you.
think
Yeah.
they had already maybe started it. So I don't know specifically if Inspire Change was part of the Jay-Z partnership or not, but I think at the end of the day, the NFL saw themselves being screwed from everything that took place with the Colin Kaepernick protest and just the backlash, because there weren't just like Colin's detractors or whatever you want to call it that weren't watching. There were a lot of people who supported Colin Kaepernick that boycotted the NFL, so maybe them realizing these numbers aren't just a reflection of people who don't agree with him kneeling. There's also people who, out of support of him, don't participate, and they probably saw it when they couldn't get anybody to perform in the damn Super Bowl halftime show.
Right.
Like, it was a concoction of talent. It was awful, actually. Wasn't it terrible, if I remember right, the past Super Bowl? Who
I don't even
performed?
remember it. That's why.
Wasn't it
Oh,
like
it was like Maroon 5. I mean, they're not my cup of tea, but honestly, like, I don't know how you think about what Jay-Z's got planned, but September 5th, parts of the concert is going to be live streamed. It has Meek Mill and Meghan Trainor, and Rhapsody.
Another rapper on
Oh, okay. I was like, don't you remember that music streaming? Wasn't it called Rhapsody?
Rhapsody Service?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like getting confused. Like, are they partnering with them, making a comeback? I don't know Rhapsody, to be honest. Proceeds of that concert are going to charity for social justice organizations. But
Yeah, so they're doing all kinds of stuff to
they are.
So I think it's Rhapsody and some of the Bears and different people are trying to meet with the youth in Chicago. So I think they're trying to make this more of like a hand in hand, like when we have games, there's going to be entertainment that
It's going to be like us, huh? Hands across America. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, what?
Hand in hand. No,
but I think they're trying to make an effort to try to make a connection with the communities that may have been impacted by the very thing that Colin Kaepernick was protesting. But, you know, they have these components like songs of the season that are supposed to be inspirational songs. I don't know how that's going to go. But then they're having a visual album of Super Bowl halftime shows that'll be produced. That's kind of weird, too. But that might be neat to see, like, a history of all the Super Bowl halftime performances or some sort. And then a Beyond the Field, it's like a platform that players can basically have a way to share about the things that they're passionate about, whether it's podcasts or playlists.
Okay.
And then a clothing line. But they've been very active in this space, so it's not a surprise to me that they would be wanting to step up to the plate to, you know, somewhat partner with an organization that's trying to make a difference. Like, they fucked up. Like, even, I mean, I work at Starbucks, right? Like, we keep fucking up. Here I am cursing. But I work at Starbucks, and they had the incident in Philly. Like, corporations get into trouble, and they find themselves in a little PR mess, and there's only one way to try to work yourself out of it. Sometimes you try to partner with someone that'll help at least get people to want to listen to what you have to say. You have to show good faith that you're trying to make a difference and correct the issue. I think that's the space the NFL is in. And, you know, I read some articles that made good points about Colin, because everybody who's playing in the NFL is taking money from the devil, so to speak, if you want to call it that, or the enemy. Colin settled his case and got his money from the NFL. It isn't great that he's not on a team, but he made his deal as well. So, like, anybody else who's making a deal with the NFL in a partnership or otherwise, I mean, it's money. So I don't think you can really knock him. But it's just really interesting. I can't speak to his character and what he's looking to do with it. It might have been just a purely business move on his part, but I'd like to see what he does with it. That'd be like us. Let's just draw it here. Like, if we're trying to raise awareness as to, you know, all the stuff that was in the Time article, and we're trying to help people understand what our mission is, and then we get their attention, and then we don't have any game plan as to how we want to engage with them to do things different moving forward. Like, that's having no action plan. So I think Jay-Z is trying to implement an action plan with the NFL. Like, we got your attention, you want to change things, you want to make it right, here's what you need to do that. And we'll just see if a clothing line and some CDs and
Meghan Trainor. All about
inspires
that
change. Yeah, we'll have to see. That's an interesting lineup, though. Meghan Trainor does bring it, though. She performed, what the hell was it, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for, like, one of the holiday games. I thought she did a great job. I'm team Meghan Trainor. Maybe it's all the Junior Seagal stuff that I've done.
No, it's just a little, like, out of left field. It's just, like, a little, like, that's random.
Mhkeeba and Meghan Trainor don't sound like they would be together.
Right, and some Rhapsody person that I've never heard of,
Exactly.
you know, that I thought it was, like, a music streaming, you know, company. So I'm way out of the loop, but, you know, I'm excited. I'm going to watch the concert, what I can, and try to support and just kind of keep you guys updated.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
We'll see, NFL.
So in other dance-related news, Good Morning America's and Flea Market Flip, I had to inform Mhkeeba of, Laura Spencer got some backlash as well with shaming Prince George having to take ballet for a part of his schooling. I definitely think it wasn't okay. To me, I felt like the crowd around her initiated the laughing before she was even making a comment.
Yeah,
we watched it, so it was just kind of interesting.
Yeah. I don't think she writes her own segments either necessarily, but maybe it was scripted that way, or I don't know if she like went off script, but there was laughter around it, and she's like, we'll see how long that lasts. I'm sure everybody's heard about it, but there was a huge protest in Times Square where they took a ballet class, Travis Wall and other dancers, I forget which production it was, but they were trying to show solidarity that boys dance too, and that this is the kind of ridicule and shaming that discourages a lot of boys from participating. And I just thought it was really relevant to what we've been talking about, because, you know, there's a lot of guys that are out there now for these NFL teams, NBA as well, where they're mixing them to be co-ed, and so it should be a welcome environment for everybody, and hopefully we beat the dead horse to a pulp. That sounds really bad. But hopefully people have gotten our message, and just that we definitely support all dancers. I think it's just the way that they've been integrated into our space that we felt hasn't been the best method of doing so. But, you know, my son dances. If he wanted to have opportunities in dance, I wouldn't want him to be ridiculed for it, and thankfully he's got a very strong temperament because he hasn't let it phase him one way or the other that he likes to dance. And
he's amazing too. You should never feel shamed.
Yeah.
And I hope that her comment didn't shame any guys. Ballet was started by men doing it, so just that alone. But, you know, honestly, I have to say I wish that we got the same kind of outrage and people why didn't all the NFL cheerleaders, storm Good Morning America or whatever and say, like, what's happening to us isn't okay. There can be kind of a give and take in terms of being co-ed. I mean, I think that's kind of like our main message is like, again, why don't all the boys get the highlight and like the outcry and the outrage of people not even making a comment about him taking a ballet class? They're basically saying he's a little kid who probably doesn't want to be doing certain things and is forced to because it's part of his schooling. Like, people got offended, I think, way more than they should have.
I think it definitely took off. Lara Spencer just seems like, she's your girl next door. She's on Good Morning America. Like, I don't think she would ever offend anyone intentionally.
But I'm really glad that they definitely showed their support, and hashtag Boys Dance Too is awesome. Like, I'm not downplaying that either, but it just would be nice if, like, women could finally get support like that.
We saw like some other articles where they were talking about it'd be nice while we have the spotlight to draw attention to so many other issues that happen in dance to like marginalized people that never get this type of attention. And just because someone said something about males, like now all of a sudden it's a big deal. I mean, there is a lot of commentary like that out there too, where it's just like, it's sad that it takes something like this to bring issues of the dance community to the forefront. And I know you're not supposed to like muddy the waters with things that aren't really on topic, but it is interesting to see what would draw so much outrage. But this is like outrage culture where everybody's outraged over
and it started with the Starbucks holiday cups a few years back, okay? So we should blame Starbucks.
Oh my gosh, when they changed it. Yes, oh my goodness. It never ends. But some things that were just interesting and we definitely related to our world, not maybe square on, but I think a lot of these things just touch on.
Well, let's touch on it. Let's touch on it. The NHL, they're going through it too right now. It's a tough time.
They are. And we have to say that I tried to go into my little social media crap talking ways just really to kind of educate myself as how they were packaging the changes that were happening with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Thankfully, somebody tagged us in a post, but things definitely didn't seem to be handled in the right manner. And it sounded very, very familiar, obviously, with what happened in the NBA. But went on the Facebook page just to see how they made the announcement, what the comments were like, and there were some very, very vocal people. I don't know if they were on the team. Actually, some did identify themselves as being on the former Lightning girls, but they went to a co-ed hype squad. It wasn't an area code crew, named that way. It was like Bolt crew or something. Well, it's a crew, so I guess it's the same thing. But we haven't heard from a lot of the cheerleaders in the hockey space, and we would love to hear your stories and understand how these changes are happening. I mean, they sound very cookie cutter, but I thought it was interesting, the little clip that I showed you of how they describe the change. This is for the Washington Capitals hockey team. They emailed everybody and explained this change in direction that they were taking, but it's just really mind-blowing, like the perception that these front offices have of cheerleaders and what they represent. And then when they present this idea of a new co-ed crew, they talk about it like it's going to be doing something so different. And it's like, that's what we were doing. But
okay, so in front of me, I have the all caps crew team duties, one of which it says subscribe to Pro Cheerleading Podcast on all platforms. And then it goes to say, the all caps crew primary focus will now be an interpersonal communication with fans, which will be vastly more important than appearing on camera or hyping the crowd during gameplay. Okay. Execution of in-game promos, on-ice games, handling contestants, and participation in special ceremonies will still be a component of the job, as will attending select external MSE events. But items traditionally associated with cheerleading are no longer part of the job description, meaning dancing, so what are you going to be doing? Choreography, again, what? The use of palms, the need for glamorized hair and makeup, and the use of form-fitting uniforms are all going by the wayside permanently.
I don't like that sentence.
Me neither. The next one is even more gross.
It says the team will be more functional than it is showy, in an effort to A, form a deeper connection with the fan base, and B, become more integral to the nuts and bolts of the in-game show.
Boom, Mhkeeba. I could not say that last sentence, and it was the one that I was most upset about.
Well, I mean,
I just don't get why looking beautiful affects that at all.
Who cares if I want to have glamorized hair and makeup?
Right.
Like,
a lot of teams don't even pay for that, so it's not even like it's cutting from, taking from the budget or what have you. I just think it totally adds an aspect to the show. You wouldn't say that Beyonce dancers are distracting because they're beautiful. that adds to the whole production value of a show.
You're performers. Everybody puts on glamorized hair and makeup for a performance. I just hope they understand how fans are going to be moved or not moved. Like, I just don't understand this idea of fan interaction. The fans don't want to necessarily interact. They want to interact with the players.
True.
Newsflash, they want to interact with the players. They don't necessarily want to interact their ass off with an interactive crew, hype crew, people jumping on them as soon as you come in the door. They like free stuff when you throw a t-shirt out in the stands and they get it.
Same.
And they like, I like my free stuff too. I won't clout anybody for it, but they like free stuff and they like interaction with players.
For sure.
And they used to like interaction with the dancers as an extension of that team because you looked like somebody special, you had shiny outfits. It's not just because they were so-called like form-fitting. Like, it's just you didn't look like the average everyday Joe Schmo. So like, we'd love to talk to you guys about what happened, what you're experiencing. I mean, is a hype crew, interactive crew, like really that impressive for fans? Like, I personally don't want to be hyped up. Like, the game hypes me up, not this.
Well, when it's forced, it's even more awkward, I think. When people are like, yeah, you're not just going to instantly be all excited because someone's in your face telling you to do things.
Yeah. Like, you can barely get people to sign up for, like, a survey or, like, sign up for a mailing list or whatever. Like, all the boosts that you see on a concourse of people trying to get people to do stuff, leave me alone. Like, I try to be nice, but I don't want to be approached like that. It'll just be really interesting to see how these interactive crews are actually successful or not. Because I know in researching hockey, each team is so different. They may have, like, a coed hype crew. They may just have a coed ice shoveling crew. I'm trying to get my hockey terminology together. But for that game day experience, like what we experienced in Portland was cool. They didn't clean the ice, the shabone. What do we call it? Shabone? What was that machine called? Shimone. Shimone?
Shimone? That's not Shimone.
I liked it because it sounded like Michael Jackson. Like, jam on it, Shamone. Anyway, the point, Shabone.
I don't think it's...
It wasn't called Shabone?
No.
Shimone?
No.
Anyway,
Zamboni.
There we go. Damn it. Okay.
The Zamboni.
Zamboni. That thing. So either
That's
the
probably
teams,
even wrong. Let me look it up.
So either the teams had like, a crew, whether it would be co-ed or not, that would clean the ice. They had a Zamboni, whatever it's called. Or they actually had traditional dancers. But
Zamboni.
All right.
Ice resurfacer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're learning, but that's why we need you guys to reach out to us and educate us and help us understand what you guys deal with. We want to really cover all sports, but seeing that your teams are going away is also very sad. And
we're here.
Yeah.
We're here for you guys too.
And we want to cover it just as much as we cover all the other issues in the other teams in sports. So
hit us up, on the record, off the record.
Whatever you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But it helps us understand and draw attention to it the best that we can. I did see an overwhelming amount of support for those ladies as well. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. They keep saying, like, my daughters come to the games because they see dancers out there that they can identify with. So they're really ruining a good thing, frankly. Damn it. See, here I am I'm not getting that mad. I'm just saying, let us know, talk to us.
Well, it just takes people to kind of uproar, like the ballet comment.
Yeah.
To make change or make them realize that maybe they are making a bad decision. And when people just stay quiet or, just have rude things to say when they're not even involved in it in any way, they just want to be a troll on the internet.
Yeah.
I just don't get why people spend so much energy in a negative way than positive.
Yeah. Shout out to whoever it was in the Facebook page. There were 2 or 3 women that were just speaking up, shutting it down, making excellent points. Like, I felt like it wasn't much for me to chime in and say. It was just like liking the comments and trying to show support. But I think, to your point, it's really just a matter of trying to be vocal and show that there are ramifications to it all, and then just kind of protecting our opportunities are disappearing. So just want to give another shout out for the Time Magazine article, because when it came out, there's still some radio appearances that the writers appearing on. I think we keep the dialogue going as much as we can. I think people are actually responding to it in a way like, oh, I never would have thought about that. And it's like, yes, please do.
Yeah, I think we noticed that when we were on the radio show here recently. I think we kind of made the hosts passionate about it because they had no idea.
Right.
And that's kind of what you're saying is like just spreading the word and letting people know that it's a problem and an issue and how they can support.
Yeah.
Even if it is just commenting or liking certain comments on social media. I mean, that's kind of all we have right now.
Yeah.
And sharing the article that we were part of as well.
Mm-hmm. So keep it up and let's do what we can before it starts spreading other places.
Let's go viral with this issue.
Please, and thank you. Where are we?
Well, so there's been a few updates in terms of auditions, if we want to talk about that for the NBA.
Yeah, well, let's just start with our little neighbors down south in Portland. They had their auditions during the break, and one of the former Seahawks Dancers,
Callie,
she made the team. Her sister was on it previously. They're such a great team, and I missed watching their finals performance. I was kind of bummed about it, their final showcase, but they're already at work dancing with Oscar Hernandez and just killing it as usual.
And then Lindsay retired.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved her. She was like on it for so many years, I think like 7, but she was a captain and just
so
like
fun to watch.
Such a natural leader and just so nice and welcoming to us when we visited.
Yeah.
So that's sad, but you do kind of sometimes feel the need to move on.
Yeah,
so, but
or just
good
get
for
a
her.
breather, because that's a lot of time commitment, and you miss out a little bit on some life events and travel and fun things. It's just such a time commitment, so we wish her all the best, and maybe she can come talk to us.
Interview her. That'd be awesome.
I asked her. She acted all shy about it, but we'll follow up with you, Lindsay. No, I'm kidding.
And another fan of the podcast, Jasmine from the Washington Wizards, is now an Atlanta Hawks dancer.
Yes, she is.
So happy for her. We knew she was going to make it.
Yeah.
I was following her during auditions, but it's like, you got it.
You got it.
She's so perfect.
Yeah, there's been some grueling auditions, and from the looks of it, they formed their teams. I thought it was cool that the Clippers are forming a co-ed hip-hop team that's separate from their Clippers dancers called the Clip City Crew. It's nice to see the NBA teams kind of doing a separate squad approach.
But can I ask something? It's a little too late, but can we, drop the crew already? I'm a little bit over that. Can't you get more creative with, your team name and...
Something, right?
Yeah, I wanted us to be called the Hip Hawks, and you said hell no, but... No, that is bad and cheesy, but I'm just saying,
something other than crew.
Yeah.
I just wish whatever, presentation somebody gave, this is the new wave of game day entertainment. Imagine, a hip-hop-based co-ed crew, 206 crew. Whoever pitched this, I think everybody, was yeah, but it's so generic now. They all sound the same. Every team's doing the same thing pretty much. It's just the worst idea to jump on that big of a bandwagon, in my opinion. It's so played out.
Yeah, just get a little bit more creative.
It's bad. It's just bad. And you had a name that actually probably had some form of value as a trademark, and now it's just so generic. It's so basic, but it
is basic.
It's so basic. But anyway, let's move on to the NFL, because we're going to get to the part that we really, really want to talk about, I think, which is football. We've had some preseason games.
But before, we have to talk about the Dallas Mavs, the entertainment squad. There's still been no news about that.
Oh, that's true. They never said anything about this, Dallas Got Talent auditions process that they wanted to hold to find comedians and ventriloquists and magicians.
They only have the chubby guys, maniacs.
Yeah. Literally, there's no information on their page whatsoever about the auditions that they held. The page for the Mavs dancers that was up for Hella is now gone. It's the page does not exist anymore. So either they're about to unveil what the hell they've been up to, or it's just been really, really hush-hush.
Or they're just banking on the maniacs.
The official dance team of the freaking Dallas Mavs is the Maniacs.
That's fine if that's what you want to represent you
everywhere.
Fully, go for it.
I don't know, but the dancing dads from Cleveland haven't really seen what team was formed based on that. I mean, what's that reveal and photo shoot going to look like? It's just so cheesy. Really, what are we really doing? But from the looks of it, the teams have been a little hush-hush as to what direction they ended up going with all of this. But except that, 916 crew.
Oh, yeah. Who are they even from? I don't even know.
No, you got to get these area codes, right? I can't keep up with it. The 916, I believe, was, if I'm even saying that right, that was the Sacramento
Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Just based off the Ludacris song, area codes.
He mentioned that
hose. I don't know. I'm just making that up.
No, but I think they did a little bit of posting around their auditions. But what we observed was definitely, I would say, not the kind of polish that I'm looking to see out there on the court. But,
it just seemed, I'm not trying to, downplay. Well, I kind of am because it's shitty what they did. But that, if you're going to replace a team with, this crew and stuff, you should, bam, announce it and make it this is what we've always needed and there's nothing else better than this.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're almost we've created a new team, don't notice.
Sliding under the radar.
Yeah, at least celebrate the new team and get their names out there so people get more comfortable with the fact that they are the replacement.
Yeah,
you know,
but maybe
so,
they're really seeing that they don't have their stuff together enough to even make a big splash like that.
right.
Like when you see how much hard work goes into, I mean, because you're just gathering a bunch of people from Lord knows what backgrounds, and then you're smacking them together to have this team, especially if you want like a variety of skill levels. Like maybe somebody can do this b-boy move, but they can't just do something simple over here, like I don't know what you would want to make them do, but maybe they're really seeing the various levels of talent and they're really struggling with trying to make it look cohesive or figuring out how to do choreography that plays to everybody's strengths and weaknesses. I mean, they probably don't look good yet.
Well, they probably shouldn't have like replaced the team then. They should
Yeah.
have just said, hey, we're no longer having you guys, sorry, bye, whatever, the asshole move. But don't do the slap across the face by replacing them with something really lackluster.
Yeah,
That it's like,
true.
we could have done that and,
And
better.
better,
So
exactly.
why did you replace us with this team?
No, I think you're absolutely right.
It's just weird.
It's something that should have, especially for a new team, you might want to keep what was actually intact and working and professional and polished, and then develop this new team, at the same time. Because if you have someone that can work with the very established dancers and know what to expect, know the rigor, know the expectations, and then you have this new team that doesn't know any of this stuff, but is going to work through it and maybe get better gradually. But I'm guessing they don't really have anything to brag about yet.
Yeah. People who are making these teams are dancers as well, and
Yeah.
it's an opportunity for them that maybe they didn't consider until this came around.
True.
It fits more of their style or whatever. So I don't mean to say that. I just, obviously, I'm maybe still a little heated about the
It's
way
nice
they
that
were
it's
removed.
not me. I'm like, yes, listen.
Well, I don't
get
want
it.
to talk shit, but if you can reach out to us as well, like we would love to hear how the team is doing. Again, off the record, if you can't really speak out.
And maybe women who are on those teams that did audition and made the new team, if you want to share what that experience
Just
is
kind of
like.
an update.
An update, like it's
not as
different, but
bad.
it's not too bad. It's fun. I'm doing more of the style that I really, really love. And so we're open to different perspectives. I think that's the main thing. It's like we recognize that it is new opportunities for people. Maybe people want to do only hip hop and not do the same type of dance style that, NBA dancers are typically. They're not even typically. I think they're so diverse that they're not typically known for a particular style. But we recognize that this creates new opportunities and it's exciting. And gosh, that's one thing in the comments. You can just see that people are so pumped that people are getting a chance to see how talented they are. So
Yeah, I think maybe that comment stemmed from the Mavericks just because they seemed so
they were-
disrespectful to
yeah.
the team and how they removed them, and then for them to not even have back up their claims of having some Dallas Got Talent situation, and it's like, where is all that? You spoke big game, but you didn't prove it.
Exactly.
Back
Where
it
are
up.
they?
Where are
they?
you?
Yes. We're doing our favorite
Meme. But
yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. It's
Yeah.
just so frustrating.
It's disappointing.
But teams who are in the thick of their season, it's just now popping off. The NFL, so their teams are formed, and
Yes.
we got a lot of updates in terms of that because we've been to 2 preseason games already.
So
So
the Seahawks, yep.
yep. So, but first, before we started recording, Mhkeeba was showing me the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders audition craziness on Instagram. I don't know if you can source it anywhere else, but they basically had like a little making the team, the grind.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I think they stole from Washington Redskins.
The grit.
Yeah, the grit and grace.
Yeah.
And now this is called the grind, making the team. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you totally took Washington Redskins cheerleaders and then DCC and made your
Combine
own
them
little
as
tagline
the
show.
grind. Oh, you're right.
Right?
But I couldn't figure out for the life of me what didn't really rub me the right way about it. I mean, we all love the making the team stories, but we've noticed when we were talking about Click episode, there was no information about the Miami Dolphins team that they selected. It was all coming soon, work in progress, and so I was trying to figure out what's going on. But they had a 3-month-long boot camp, and I just feel like that's lightweight torture. I don't understand if they've always done this. Please let us know. It just seemed very, for the camera. This whole making the team, you already got the DCC TV show that's obviously out there for everybody to consume to see how rigorous an auditions process can be. I think everybody would agree that that's probably the most rigorous. But 3 months just sounded excessive to me, and, just hearing about their super, super high standard and really pushing everybody to get there before the season starts, before a team has been announced, just seems so wrong to me. Why does it feel so wrong?
I don't know, but I also left a bad taste in my mouth as well because it sounded like they made multiple cuts, but were really cramming in a lot of choreography, like right at the start, and then, asking the girls to perform them, and they were practicing and going through all this, and it's like they're making cuts towards the end. It's like you're gonna have a bring it on moment where girls in the stands are doing it because they learned all of your choreography. It just seemed kind of interesting.
Oh, just for people who didn't make it?
Yeah.
Showing up at the game.
They're gonna show up there and be like doing it, their own squad.
Oh my gosh.
But,
well, they did say that they announced their cut dates. They were very well advertised, so everybody knew when they had to have their stuff together by, or they would get cut, which is fair. At least it wasn't like, surprise, it's cut night.
Kind of like DCC,
yeah,
where it'll be like, you
never
don't
know.
look good tonight. You look like you've gained half a pound. Goodbye. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. That's being dramatic.
But somewhat.
They
really.
can cut you kind of at any
moment.
Yeah.
So, but I just thought 3 months when you're not being compensated for that time, you have a job, maybe you moved down there for the auditions process, but if you're there for 3 months before you even know that you've made the team, I just feel like it's such an ask of people, and it's not a question of whether these women want it, like they clearly do, but we were listening to one of the clips where she's talking about like, giving feedback, and she's like, I just feel like you're just,
And this
really
is the
nervous.
director.
The director saying, you just seem really nervous, you need to relax and kind of like, let me see you perform. And I'm like, you're freaking torturing these poor women. Like, in a way, how can they relax and enjoy what they're experiencing when they don't know that they had a spot? It's a long, grueling process.
It's a 3-month-long interview, basically.
That's a lot.
I mean, I
You do it
sweat
for
through my interview clothes when I'm doing interviews, so like...
I just thought that was a bit much because, it's great for the team to understand who they are and kind of like you have a long get to know someone process, but at a certain point you just got to understand what they're giving up without compensation perhaps to actually invest in that kind of a role. And then like we know how it is when you front load a lot of choreography. It's not that you don't learn throughout the rest of the season, but if you learn that much choreography that you're pounding down their throats over those 3 months, like what are you working on during the rest of the season? Like these should be the shortest practices in the whole NFL because you know everything, you learn all the dances, and now it's just a matter of setting things or walkthroughs. But I just don't understand like getting to that point of perfection before the season even starts. Like maybe that's what people aim for with some of these training camps, but 3-month-long process sounds really excessive to get to that point.
Right, when after a few weeks you probably have a good feel of their talent, what they can handle, their personality. Like I think a few weeks is good, and then they could have just followed them through basically like preparing for the season. I don't know why it had to be like we have 3-month-long auditions, and it's almost like a competition within the cheerleading teams to have like the most crazy intense audition process.
Exactly. That's what I picked up. It was
Yeah.
just like, what is this even really about? Because if you beat people down so much, like granted, they're all like super pumped once they make it. But again, I'm kind of like, what do you devote your energy to after you make it if you've learned all this choreography? And like, what else is there to really work on? I mean, and you're also doing all this stuff before there's a game. So you're dancing in a studio. You're not performing for people other than the director and the coaches staring at you in a dance studio.
You're trying not to look nervous.
And you're trying not to look tired. I just felt so bad for the ladies, and everybody they interviewed, their spirits looked broken as hell, didn't they? Like, it just made me want to like cry for them because you're on camera, you're trying to show face of like, yeah, it's really hard, and I'm just trying to, make it. And
it's really mentally hard.
yeah, they all were speaking to that, and I just thought they have to realize that maybe there isn't the need for that level of rigor for that long of a period of time. Obviously, the women want to make the team. Yes, you can, evaluate them for a period of time, but just try to be fair, man. Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
You're not getting paid, but it's also kind of like a free training camp, honestly. If you make it through towards the end but don't make the Miami Dolphins, I think you could honestly take what you learned from that and apply it to any other audition and probably like make it. Because it'll seem like easy peasy, a weekend audition versus a 3-month-long thing.
But then if you think about your commitment over those 3 months, you're missing out on all NBA auditions for the most part because you're up here trying to make it happen. But I mean, granted, no auditions process is easy, and it shouldn't be. You want to test people's work ethic, but, you want to test how quickly people pick up choreography. I get it, but, well, damn, how quickly do they need to pick it up when you've taught them everything for the whole entire season,
Right.
Clearly. Anyway.
Craziness.
It was a little crazy. It stressed me out. Check it out. We'll link it below. I could see them going through that if they get beginners. Like, you know what I mean? And you really want to get them up to par. But
like a rookie camp or something. But you've already made the team. It's just kind of like, let's get you up to speed,
finesse
you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Stressful.
I was stressed watching that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the comments were like, wow, amazing, so inspiring. And I'm like, really? I have anxiety watching this.
Yeah.
I'm stressed out.
I'm frowned up thinking about it, but
yeah. In other news, more positive, the LA Rams, I swear, they just be killing it already.
Traveling all over the world.
And just like their choreography and stuff. And I don't know, I just feel like they're totally, maybe they have mostly veterans on their team. I'll have to listen back to Click, but they just seem totally, they got everybody up to speed really quick.
Yeah.
Everybody seems like they've been doing this for years on end.
And it was preseason games. Just watching a lot of the preseason videos from teams, like the Rams definitely were killing it. I thought the Arizona Cardinals looked really good. I mean, you know, we're calling it out. We won't link everything below, but you know, people have posted videos of their preseason. Like obviously the Redskins looked pretty fun. I love watching squads perform out on the 20-yard line or the numbers where they're, you know, like the smaller squads where you can kind of appreciate the choreography. So I saw some cute stuff from the Raiders. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cute routines.
From Johnny, right?
Yeah.
She choreographed a few of them.
But it just everybody looked really clean and sharp. I was pretty impressed. Like preseason usually it's not like we look like crap. The team does, but not not us. But yeah,
there's still an air of like we're figuring it out, and
right.
I feel like a lot of these teams that was zero. Like they totally brought it and looked so clean and amazing. Honestly, so,
and everybody's had their juniors games, and you can really see that they've expanded these juniors programs like big time. The Colts ended up having like a family member from the junior Colts cheerleaders do part of the dance routine with them.
Cool.
It's like we are family, and so you'd see like grandma looking people and, you know, parents or whatever, and so
and they had like mini outfits,
literally like the new uniform.
Right,
looks way cuter on the kids. I mean, it's like head to toe the same outfit. How much money do they give their programs?
I don't know.
Woo. Like seriously, they must be very well funded. And from what I remember, yes, from researching,
yes, they are.
I mean, they just seem like they have a lot of organizational support. I think it's part of their business plan. You know, what they do to have these cheer programs for kids to participate in, because you get a pretty penny for each kid.
Yeah.
Dang.
Whew. And how are the guys doing? There's tons of guys on the teams. There's the Patriots, Eagles, Bucks, the Saints, LA Rams, obviously. Like,
I just find it interesting the way that other teams have integrated guys.
Right.
There's only one male cheerleader on the Tampa Bay Bucks, and he's, you know, using pom-poms with the rest of the squad. The Patriots dancers are also using pom-poms. I just find it really interesting when males are added to an established female team and you're not changing the style of it or anything. It's just kind of like you're one of us. And versus the Rams where I think the guys wanted to like not dance with pom-poms. But I just think it's really interesting to see how it all plays out. I'm hoping they're having a positive experience and good reception from fans. I don't think they would ever talk about it, but if you want to,
hit us up.
We would love to, you know, hear about your perspectives, and if it's what you imagine it to be. It seems like all positive, good vibes. So let's hope.
Yeah.
The Patriots had their calendar. Did you see?
Yeah, it was very, it seemed very sponsored too. Like, sponsored the house.
Yeah.
Like, you walked in and, like, the girls were wearing, like, carnival outfits from the Caribbean, butterfly unitards. Literally,
but it was like fitness. It was like fitness mixed with samba girl.
80s fitness with butterfly, samba.
Victoria's Secret
Saint
wings
Lucia.
model. Yeah.
It was a little bizarre, I'm not going to lie.
It threw me off big time, but they did like a fitness calendar, so it was a lot of... I don't understand why somebody would want to buy a fitness calendar. Once you guys donate to Patreon, we'll keep buying these calendars and figure out what other teams have done, because I think people are definitely trying to do their calendars differently and showcasing more lifestyle. I know the Denver Broncos cheerleaders mentioned that in their calendar. It's supposed to be more lifestyle shots and stuff like that. So, but a fitness one would be like seriously redundant to me. And why be in St. Lucia, like in all beautiful places,
sponsored,
working out?
So when you go to these, you know, unveilings, they're probably like, sign up for a timeshare? And you're like, fuck, oh my God, get me out of here. I'll buy a calendar if you don't make me sign up for a timeshare. That's mean, but I don't know. It is getting a little cuckoo crazy.
Yeah. Well, we might as well end with a subject near and dear to our hearts. We went to the Seahawks games. I went to the first preseason game.
And then both you and I went to the second one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we're here to just share our observations. You know, this was near and dear to us, obviously, because we were Seagulls, and we know what...
And this is just our opinions! No, I'm kidding.
Don't come for us. But I tried to enjoy the games as just a fan who's absorbing the change without having any prior history with Seagulls, right? And then I tried the second game, I was like, no, I'm going to wear my former Seagull hat and then just really see, is this better than what we did out there? And I think I had a different reaction for each game.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I thought you were going to go first. First game, I was sitting in a section pretty close to the field. And, I was trying to, sense the reaction of the crowd, but everybody was so confused. Why did they change it? That was all we kept hearing was, what are they doing? Or why did they change it to that? It wasn't a hell no, I don't like, but they were very that surprise, but not in a good way, not in a bad way. It's just you changed my order or something like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody changing, this is probably a terrible example, but changing from cheddar cheese to a slice of mozzarella, on your favorite sandwich. And you're like, this is different.
It's just a head tilt. Okay,
it's not cheddar. Yeah, it's it's one of those kind of reactions. And for it being the first preseason game, I kind of felt like they were definitely working out kinks because for everybody who doesn't know, the Seahawks have done away with the Seagulls dance program. I don't know if that's a safe way of saying it, but the Seagulls no longer exist as Brittany and I dance, all-female, dance team with a certain style of choreography that's kind of typical NFL, whatever. They're moving more in the direction of a dance team that's co-ed, and so they have 8 male dancers and then 2 male dancers that kind of specialize in hip-hop along with 2 female dancers that they also added to the team that have a background in hip-hop. And so it's the fusion basically of what you would probably think of as a hip-hop crew, NFL cheerleading squad, and merging them together to form the Seahawks Dancers. And so I think based on that fusion and what that really looks like, it's a little muddled. I think it was a little disconnected for me the first time around, understanding what's the new thing that we're putting out for the fans. And I think that you saw a variety of skills and styles, but cohesively as one team, I couldn't figure out what was being packaged, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally.
That was my first game reaction. What was your first game reaction since the second game was your first game?
Well, it was raining and the weather was horrible, and it's hello, it's summer still, kind of. Why is it raining?
Yeah.
But I have to agree, I was really happy with the first game because it was their juniors program game, and I was so happy to see that they had junior boys.
Yeah.
So they totally killed it, and they looked like they were having so much fun.
That was really cool.
That was so cool to see that being incorporated. But I have to agree, I just feel like it's very disjointed, and it's almost like an identity crisis because they're supposed to be a hip-hop team, as I know.
But that's the part that's not
clear.
100% clear. Well, I mean, they added hip-hop dancers, so you thought it was going in a hip-hop.
And their attire kind of reads more hip-hop / I don't know. But I've seen them dance so far. There's only been 2 home games, but they've danced to Cardi B. They've danced to country songs, Whitney Houston, a lot of throwback songs. And it just seems very mixed up. They don't really know exactly what they're trying to hit. And I think that this year is going to be a lot of that. And maybe next year, once they have it more cemented of which direction they want to go, we're going to see even more changes, I think.
Yeah. And maybe that's the intent, is to actually provide this wide variety. I just think it's confusing because there's so many things changing at once. The look is changing, the dance style is changing, the fact that it's co-ed is changing. So I think when you take all that into consideration and then you have such a wide variety of the types of performances that you'll see, that's the part that makes it off-putting for a fan to watch, when you're kind of what are they doing, or who are they really? And so I think that's the part, because we had such a strong identity as Seagulls, it makes it more jarring, because you're we knew what we were delivering every game, and maybe it needed to change up game to game.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, we know what to expect from the Seagulls. Here they're going to come and do this and do that.
Okay, but DCC does the same, come out every single game. They've
True.
been doing it since I don't know when, forever.
True.
So it's that's not really, I don't think that people are, upset with oh, same. But I think that our old uniforms were very we don't have to be one-dimensional, but they were eye-catching, and then we danced whatever form we wanted to, hip-hop, jazz, whatever. But I think when they're dressed as hip-hop dancers...
Yeah.
And it was so cool, the come out, some girls did some tumbling.
Yeah, that was the first.
That was amazing because...
first in a while that I've seen.
Yeah, because it's hard to do that in the boots.
Exactly.
But now they're in tennis shoes, mostly. It's just weird. It's just a disconnect.
Yeah.
They don't need to be one-dimensional, but they're
but
dressed
seeing
as
all these
hip-hop.
multidimensional aspects and then attire that may not match it makes it
There needs to be a thread that is a continuum that
throughout
makes
all of
it
Exactly.
make sense.
Exactly.
And I think that they should have kept like some sort of Seagal program and just added Rhythm and Blue. Like they're a separate team.
From the
They could have
DCC.
done that, and then it was like the hip hop crew.
Yeah. What we might see, if I were to predict where this is all going, for the teams that have like that did keep their traditional team and then added a male thing, and then say they have like an older people team and then you got the kids team. Like if you see that you have this huge entertainment team not mess, but just so many teams, and you want to consolidate, then I think what we would see is probably the all-female team and this all-male team eventually become co-ed. But at least at that point you have set identities for this male hip-hop component, and then you know more of how you want to kind of combine them. But because it's all so new, I just think it's going to be a lot of kind of figuring out and sorting out what to maybe keep from Seagulls, or maybe what you want to help create an identity for the guys. Because I think, and it's not just the guys, you know, there's a couple female hip hop dancers, but I think just getting that identity together, or just realizing that there is that disconnect with the fans of like how you're presenting these new Seahawks dancers. Maybe it's like the we do it all, you know? Didn't you guys used to say that on Show Group? Wasn't that like a thing with you guys?
Yeah, I think it's a little different because like we had themed outfits and sets. So it'd be
that makes
like,
sense.
here's a country set. We have a cowboy hat and boots and
Right.
a bandana, and then we're doing burlesque in kind of a flapper style,
Right.
outfit. So
The different styles matched a theme.
yeah, and I think that maybe is what's disconnected for me.
Yeah, because it wasn't so much like, oh, there are guys out there. I mean, I will say for me, I was a little put off by the fact that the guys are, in the front of, they're the first line that you see that's closest to the fans in the stadiums. And so, I just thought how awkward because they're rookies and they probably should be where they can kind of follow along a little bit. But other than that, I think nobody seemed to be like, why are there men out there? Like that was not at all the reaction. And, they're doing different things, what we do with the timeouts and stuff. And I love that they do something during Blue Thunder because that music would always play and we'd always just do some random stuff clap because it was hard to hear the drum line up there. But now they do like a freestyle circle and people can kind of showcase their talent and
Their style.
which is, that gives a little bit of individuality instead of seeing all synchronized routines. So I think there's a lot that they're doing that I think maybe with some adjustments can maybe be improved upon over the year. But I think the second game for performances was definitely stronger than the first. They looked great in Touchdown City both times. But yeah, I think it's going to be just a matter of sorting through who are you really.
Yeah.
But I did feel like when I did watch the second game and trying to like see, is this better than what we used to do? My answer was like, no. And trying to be objective, like, did we really look that good, or am I like freaking having a moment of amnesia or something? But there's something that's missing in terms of the glamour, and that's the part that made it sad for me, was just like, it's the packaging of it. Like, it's not like we are larger than life. We are this bright, sparkly, polished, shiny new, that's what I felt like every time we touched the field, was like, I am somebody. Like, these outfits are cute, but I just felt like it doesn't make you stand out as like a superhero to me anymore. And like that part kind of left me feeling like it wasn't better than what we did.
Well, because they are superheroes and they are amazing and they're still doing things out in the community and, working really hard and working with the youth for the junior program and all of that stuff. And I absolutely agree. I mean, they tend to kind of blend in with the crowd, honestly. I think when we wore white, there's not even white in the men's uniforms, but it just made us stand out so much more. Yeah. And now, I mean, their outfits are really cool, but they
have a flannel.
They have a flannel, and it almost looks like fans on the field.
Yeah.
So you have to really look for them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're not standing out and showing up in like
that cacao kind of way.
Yeah, and they're totally cacao dancers. I mean, I think the team is made up of amazing dancers, and we saw that in the end zone dance. It was amazing and super technical and very fast-paced, like something I could never do. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel that way, but I think you could do it. No.
But it just was like, wow, that's an amazing routine. And because they're wearing shoes now and just like all that cool stuff. But yeah, maybe it is just the uniform. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. There's something that's missing. But I will say, too, with all of that intricate, amazing choreography, you just got to think about the venue again. Like, I just think that we had good seats, or we actually got in trouble damn near for not being in the right seat the second time. But I think from up close, it'll look pretty decent. 300 level, the movements that they're doing, they're small, they're intricate. I just think it's going to be the same kind of disconnect unless you're looking at the big screen. And our stadium, frankly, has terrible big screens, I think.
They do.
But I just don't know that it's always going to connect with the audience, how impressive all of that stuff really is. I think they, keep with the fan favorite, not even hokey stuff, but like trying to find like that sweet spot of delivering fun choreography, but also where they're really actually showcasing how amazing they are. But we'll be watching. Like, I'm definitely rooting for them. Like, everybody involved, I think it's just a lot of change. Everybody's trying to manage all at one time. But you could tell they've been working hard. It's nice and refreshing to hear different songs played in our stadium, frankly, because that was, we were struggling.
Yeah, the music was kind of dwindling. Now it's a lot better. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they got rained on. Welcome to our world. Welcome to Seattle, guys. Dancing in the rain. But we look forward to continuing to watch and see how they progress throughout the season. And everybody, for that matter. Keep those videos coming of all your performances and behind the scenes. Like, love every second of that. It's hard to keep up sometimes, but dang it, that's where you feel like you're at a game.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
We didn't get in any trouble either. Well, we didn't. We got somebody else in trouble. I kind of got an usher in trouble for being mean to us and patting me really too hard on my back. I'm telling us to move.
She has a bruise.
I expect free tickets because of my complaint that I wrote down. No, I'm just kidding. But
I now have to go to physical therapy to recover. Oh my goodness. I feel like that whole thing was like kind of a cheer chat, locker talk. So no locker talk today, right? Do you have locker talk?
No.
Okay, so our juicy locker talk is basically what we have coming at you for season 4.
Can you believe, we really have to pump this up. We've been so excited that our list of people that we get to talk to has just been getting juicier and juicier and juicier. Who are we talking to this season?
So many people. I mean, I'm excited for a costume designer who hand makes them. So
for the Seahawks,
yeah, for the Seahawks.
I mean, and I don't know how much she's involved with the Seahawks Dancers, but she definitely did the Seagulls uniforms, and she is going to do an interview with us. We're so excited to have her, especially after Fresh Off the Runway episode where we had all these opinions about everybody's uniforms.
Right. Oh
God.
I want to get her take. We'll have to go through the slide with her.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Cannot wait.
And then we have our very first current NFL dancer, cheerleader, Candace from Washington Redskins. She was a Pro Bowl cheerleader last year.
Yes.
Captain this year. Super amazing. Had a great time talking to her.
Yeah. And then we had Derek Whitfield, who is the director of all the Wizards in Washington, D.C., all of the entertainment teams, from the Wisdom, the Wizards Dancers, the Whiz Kids, and I think their hype crew. So he's in charge of the whole entertainment conglomerate over there, and he's like the baddest choreographer there ever was. So we have that interview to share with you as well. Super interesting to talk to him. Can't wait to share that one with you guys.
Yeah, and then we also talked to JC Scott, super nice girl. She was on DCC, and she also has been involved with the Rockettes. So that's so cool.
Yeah. So we have that and more, and just interesting topics. So if you guys want to get your bids in for things you want us to cover this season, now's the time so we can slot it in. But we're excited to share with you a little bit more behind the scenes footage and getting some real interactive, real live input from you all. Find us on Instagram, Pro Cheerleading Podcast. Twitter is Pro Cheer Podcast. We are going to be trying to go as much stuff as we can and not get our stuff taken down on YouTube. But we have a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, obviously. Where else are we?
We're on Patreon. We also have our website live, so check that out. Keep your eyes out for merch. We'll definitely be keeping you updated on that. I'm super excited for that.
Yes.
I think Mhkeeba and I have come up with some really cool ideas and really cute stuff. That's been requested many times, so definitely want to do that.
But Patreon, you guys, since everybody in the survey also said that they didn't know about it, but we do have a Patreon set up. And so I think when it comes to us being able to go to games and travel to come support you guys and see what you're up to.
And even just buying the calendars, the magazines.
Literally, $20 can go towards somebody's calendar or magazine that we can buy and be able to talk about and share with everybody. Not to discourage other people from buying stuff, but that's the only way that we can not go broke.
Yeah, and it'll be fresh off the runway. We'll share our first reactions and kind of go in depth with what style they're going in, since so many teams are taking it in a different direction.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to share that with you guys. So help us out.
Donate. We'll put the link below so you can support your favorite podcast, because everybody also said from the survey that they do not want ads, and neither do we.
No.
Frankly. So that would be a way to support your girls.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Until next time, keep your eyes on the sidelines.